Tomorrow you wake up and all that you hold on to, your job, your status, even the validation of those around you, is snatched away in a single night. Who are you then? What is left when the titles, the accolades, and the safety nets are stripped from you? This is the question the ancient Stoics got ready to face each and every day, because they understood one thing most people do not. Your ego is breakable, but your inner strength can be made indestructible. Today I want to show you 10 harsh Stoic lessons that will shatter your ego and create a strength nobody can ever take from you. But before that, prepare yourself. These lessons are not for being nice. They were not created to make you comfortable. They were created to peel off illusions and make you grow. Lesson 1. You are not special. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Soon you will have forgotten everything, and soon everyone will have forgotten you." The Roman emperor, the most powerful man in his world, reminded himself every day that he wasn't greater than any other person. Ego says you are special, that the world owes you praise. But Stoicism responds, you are a grain of sand. This isn't to defeat you, it is to liberate you. When you no longer need to be special, you stop being breakable. Lesson 2. Control what you can. Let go of what you can't. Epictetus was a slave-turned-philosopher who lived by one harsh phrase. Some things are in our control and others are not. Your ego despises this because it craves control of all things, opinions, results, even how others treat you. But when you embrace the line of demarcation between what is yours and what is not, your strength doubles. You no longer spend energy on illusions. You concentrate only where action counts. Lesson 3. Death is your shadow. Seneca wrote, "You act like mortals in all that you fear, and like immortals in all that you desire." The Stoics practiced death daily, not to be gloomy, but to remain realistic. Ego makes you believe that you have all the time in the world. Power is achieved when you learn life is on loan, and every moment is an opportunity to hone your soul. Observe your life today. If death were standing next to you, would you be living differently? That is the Stoic approach. Live like time is running through your fingers. Because it is. But here's the twist. The next Stoic lesson isn't just about control or death or humility. It's about the hardest battle you'll ever face. The one inside your own mind. Lesson 4. Your feelings are not orders. Epictetus instructed that it is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Ego yells when things don't go your way. Anger, jealousy, resentment. These are handcuffs masquerading as feelings. The Stoics understood feelings were messages, not commands. You receive the pain of rejection, but you are not required to act on it. You experience the rush of rage, but you don't need to burst. Power is realized when you are above your urges like a master, not a servant. Lesson 5. Comfort is weakness masquerading. Marcus Aurelius slept on the ground as emperor, reminding himself that luxury was not part of who he was. Your ego wants comfort. It desires the easy way, the admiration, the cushy existence. Comfort corrupts strength. The Stoics hardened their bodies through deliberate discomfort, fasting, exposure to cold, long marches. Why? Because power resides with those who are prepared when life hits. If you can't stand small hardships, how will you stand the storms approaching? Lesson 6. You are owed nothing. Ego tells you that the world should be just, that others must pay for your work, that success will come if you work hard enough. But the Stoics sneer at such a thought. The world owes you nothing. No justice, no mercy, no acknowledgement. Seneca said, "Expecting the world to treat you fairly because you are good is like expecting a bull not to charge you because you are a vegetarian." Harsh, yes, but liberating, because when you concede that nothing is owing, all that you work for is strength crafted by your own effort. And this brings us to the next truth, one of the most devastating for the ego, the discovery that pain itself is not your adversary. but your finest teacher. Lesson 7. Pain is a forge, not an punishment. The ego wails. Why me? Whenever life brings pain, but the Stoics turned that around. Pain is not a curse. It is flame refining steel. Epictetus, who spent most of his years as a crippled slave, instructed that pain was the soul's gymnasium. Each difficulty you endure is not shattering you. It is chiseling you into someone unmovable. The weak flee pain. The strong ingest it, learn from it, and emerge sharper than they were. Lesson 8. Control is an illusion. Ego craves control over individuals, events, outcomes. It erupts when life will not be controlled. But Stoicism shatters this illusion. You control nothing but your decisions and your mindset. That is all. Marcus Aurelius experienced betrayal, war, and plague. But he wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. The instant you cease attempting to control the uncontrollable, your ego is dead and your power grows." Lesson 9. Death is your teacher. The ego holds on to life as if it would never end. It shyly avoids the thought of death, constructing castles of distraction. But Stoics did memento mori, the remembrance of death. Seneca cautioned, "You behave like mortals with respect to the things you fear, and like immortals with respect to the things you desire." To shatter your ego, you need to confront death every day. Not as despair, but as fuel. Every breath might be your last. Every moment wasted is power lost. When you have death on your shoulder, you cease to fear, and you live with power. Lesson 10. Service is the greatest strength. Ego tries to dominate. But real power does not come from smashing others. It comes from serving something beyond yourself. Marcus Aurelius, the most dominant man on earth, wrote that he was a servant of the common good. Why? Because ego separates, but service broadens. When you commit your strength to something greater than your own pride, your power becomes indestructible, your life unstoppable. Now, let us sew all these lessons together into the harsh yet freeing journey the Stoics mapped out for us. You embarked on this journey with an ego seeking applause, security, and control. But lesson by lesson, that ego has been broken. The need for approval, lost. The fear of suffering, incinerated. The false sense of control, shattered. Even the denial of mortality, torn asunder. What remains, not weakness, not despair, but a foundation of strength built on reality, not delusion. You've seen that true power is not dominance, but discipline, not clinging but letting go, not inflating your ego but erasing it. The Stoics did not vow comfort. They vowed clarity. They did not give you shortcuts. They gave you transformation. And here is the harsh reality. If you apply these 10 lessons, you won't just shatter your ego, you will shatter free. So the question isn't whether or not these teachings are effective. The question is, are you ready to live them? Are you ready to face pain, accept death, release control, and serve something greater? Because if you are, then your ego is done, and what takes its place isn't a delicate self-image, but unbreakable strength.